Presenting Canary P.I. in Ed Poindexter's Crime of the Century, a J. Henry production. Are you tired of the same old cigarette? Looking for an alternative with a full-bodied flavor? Save those pats of butter for Sunday dinner and try our new refreshing smoke from L.M. Foxwoods. Corn silk cigarettes, straight from the husk. Ooh, so smooth. Here we are at the grand opening of a very exciting new restaurant, the Burger Blob. Can you tell us a little bit about this fine eatery? How's the reception been?
Oh, it's just fine. We have this dish called the Cheesy Wheezy. It's fries topped with 2 kinds of American cheese.
Wonderful. Breaking news! This just in. There seems to be a holdup gone wrong at the Mutual Funds and Savings Bank. A standoff between police and robbers have been established.
Hey, that's my bank.
The staff is currently being held hostage. It is unknown how many there are or if anyone is hurt. This could very well be the crime of the century. Keep it tuned to WXORV, the Klondike, spinning the hits and bringing you the hard-hitting news.
Bank robbery. It's been a while since we had a hostage situation in town. The chief of police was never good for these. About as subtle as a George Burns joke. Better get down there. I'm sure they have insurance for things like this. But there are 2 absolute truths in my book. And I ain't talking death and taxes. You don't mess with a man's car or his money. Canary's coming for you, evildoer. You hurt one of those hostages and you'll be suffering tenfold. Pulled up to the Mutual Funds and Savings. A thickening crowd was forming a horseshoe shape around the entrance of the bank. I held up my badge as I walked through the growing crowd. Chief of Police, where's the chief? Chief!
Just what in the hell are you doing here? I need a P.I. like I need a hole in my head. You're not a cop.
Who you got running negotiations?
Detective Lewis.
Old left leg Louie? Clumsy as a 3-legged cat. Come on, Chief. He was a fine officer, I guess, but he's not the right person. Let me talk to the thief, Chief. Come on, I was good at this and you know it.
Why do you keep showing up in police business lately? Just don't make a habit of it. Let me get you caught up.
How many hostages are we talking here?
There's 5 bank tellers, all female. Then there's the manager and a security guard. All he had was a baton. Real useful. Both male.
Okay, let's work on getting some of them out of there. Has there been any demands?
None yet. But there's one more thing. This goon must be off his rocker. He's dressed as a Dracula.
You mean a vampire?
Fangs, painted on widow's peaks, the full 9 yards.
Better get a coffin ready at the funny farm. Hopefully he's of sound enough mind to reason with. We need to establish what he wants and intends to do. I need something white, like a scarf. I pulled the handkerchief out of the front pocket of the chief's uniform. Hope this is clean, boss. I held it up as high as I could, waving it back and forth, slowly walking up to the locked doors of the bank. I tapped on the glass of the front door, making sure my white flag was visible.
Who are you? Listen, I gotta get out of here.
Now just keep the heater pointed at the ground. You see those rooftops? You might not be able to see them, but I guarantee you there's sharpshooters up there. And you're in their sights. Don't make any quick movements. I don't want anyone getting hurt, including you. I was bluffing. I had no idea if snipers were on those roofs. What's your plan? What's your exit strategy?
Oh, I don't know. This was supposed to be an in and out. Someone must have tripped an alarm. I'm not a professional crook, you know.
Then what are you, son? Why are you dressed like that?
Well, I am Count Dracula of the 7th Order. But you can call me Ed.
Okay, Count Ed. Won't you let a couple of those ladies free? I'm sure they're very scared.
These hostages are the only thing keeping me alive right now.
Okay, fine. 2 girls for me. I'm unarmed. I just want to help. I held up the flaps of my jacket to show I wasn't carrying.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can do that. There's one that won't stop crying. I'd be glad to get rid of her. I can't hear myself think.
Great, Ed. Now let's get him out of there. I signaled to the chief that I was going in. Ed brought 2 of the ladies to the front and we did the switch without a hitch. See? Nothing to it. Seeing him up close painted a picture I wasn't expecting. He couldn't have been a day over 20. He was thin, almost malnourished looking. He had thick black-rimmed glasses that smeared his paint on his widow's peak with each adjustment. He wore a ratty homemade cape with an exaggerated collar. He was in desperate need of some pimple cream. A fanged false tooth fell from his mouth and bounced off the floor. He scurried to the ground and quickly grabbed it and put it back in his mouth. He looked up, hoping no one saw. I don't think that's sanitary, kid.
Count Dracula will not stand for such insubordination. Besides, I'm the one with the gun. Get over there with the other hostages.
I eyed the captives and they all seemed unhurt, scared but sound. You're in pretty deep now, but no one is hurt and we can salvage this. Listen, you'll be out of jail in 3 years, maybe half on good behavior.
Count Dracula.
Now stop it with the Dracula stuff. You walked in here in broad daylight. Your teeth are falling out of your head with every other sentence. You know you're not a real vampire, right?
Oh, I know. I figured I'd plead insanity if I got caught. Rather be locked in a mental hospital. I can't go to prison. Look at me. I won't make it in there.
You should have thought of that before robbing a bank and putting innocent lives in danger. Listen, this is the situation. The building is surrounded. They're not gonna let you just leave. You're not getting out of here a free man. But what we can do is minimize the damage.
Okay. I'm listening. What do I do?
You have to give up. Right now. You can't drag this out any longer. I'll come to your trial. Up to this point, you've been cooperative, and I'll make it well known.
I can't do that. This wasn't how it was supposed to be. I need to get out of here. I need this money.
Why'd you rob the bank, kid, huh? Rent is late. You got a girl you sweet on that you're trying to impress. I've heard it all. You can tell me.
I needed to make a fresh start. I'm tired, mister.
Call me Canary, and I'm your friend now.
Do you know what it's like to spend your whole life not fitting in? No matter what you do, nothing ever works out.
I sure do, kid. I sure do.
I need this money. I'm gonna board a plane to Transylvania and leave it all behind. All the sharks, all the bullies, all the ne'er-do-wells.
To become a real vampire, and I don't start that again.
What? Of course not. Like I said, I need a fresh start. I need a big reset on the whole thing.
Why Transylvania of all places?
It's as good a place as any. I just need to be far away from here. I heard Europeans love chess.
Chess? You like chess? They allow you to play chess in prison. I've seen it.
I said I ain't going to no prison.
Don't do anything rash now. Keep the gun pointed at the floor. If you need to point it at anyone, point it at me. Why do you need to start fresh, kid? You're young. You should be out bowling and cruising in a roadster. Bird dogging chicks. Isn't that what they say nowadays?
Nah, girls don't like me. Oh, no one likes me. You know the other reason I dress as a vampire? The communal creatures. I want to feel a part of something. I've never had that.
What has brought you to this place, Junior?
My mother was all right. Until she left us for another man when I was 10. Abandoned me with my dad. My drunk of a father. He was a glassy-eyed devil. I don't think he ever truly cared about me. When he came home from work late, you knew to stay out of his way. There were days I had to explain my black eye to the school's nurse. Fell out of a tree, picking up crab apples, miss. Right on the eye, 1 in a million shot. He'd always berate me on why I don't have friends. One of his grand solutions was for me to play organized sports. I was about as useful on the field as a screen door on a submarine. Well, it was better when I was invisible. Now everyone just laughed at me. I like monster magazines and chess. What's wrong with that? Why can't I just be accepted for being me?
Not a thing, kid. Not a damn thing. Sometimes you just get dealt these hands in life.
Yeah. He kicked me out a couple years ago. Said he wouldn't support a loser's son for one more day than the law required. That's my dad. And college? Even though I was a good student, forget it. No support for that. I've survived living in a hovel of an apartment. Taking whatever jobs I could get, lots of fast food and some factory work that is so dangerous no one wants to do it. That's where people like me fit in. Chop meat for the machines. If I have to see one more person getting stretched away with a stump for a hand, or prepare one more cheesy wheezy, I'm gonna lose it. I mean, what am I even doing here? Clearly, I'm off my rocker.
I walked up to the young man and put my arms around him. His arms hanged awkwardly to the floor as I hugged him. It's gonna be okay, kid. This is one big mess, but I'm gonna help you, I promise. I'm gonna help you. Now give me the gun. Tears were now streaming down his pimply face, causing his glasses to fog up.
Here, take it. It's a starter pistol. It's not even loaded. I could never hurt anyone.
I made sure there was no bullets in the chamber. He was telling the truth. It was empty. You did the right thing, Ed. Just what were you expecting to do once you got down to Transylvania?
I was gonna open a coffee shop, post live poetry every night, have chessboards carved into each table.
Just hold tight, Count Dracule. I held out the unloaded gun to Ed, and with hesitancy, he took it back. I don't know why I'm doing this. Perhaps I see myself in him when I was his age. He's no killer. He's desperate and afraid. Just how in the hell am I gonna pull this one off? My hand emerged from the front door of the bank, waving my white flag. It's Canary. I need to speak to the chief of police.
Guns down. Come out, Canary. Real slow like.
This is a tough one, Chief. But I think I found a way out of this. This kid's a real killer. He's off his rocker. He's so unhinged, I think he's gonna hurt one of the hostages.
So, let's move in. What are we waiting for?
Now let's just wait a minute, Chief. I think I figured out a way for no one to get hurt. There's a catch, though. He has some demands.
If his demands don't involve eating a bucket of white-hot lead, no dice. You said yourself this kid is unhinged.
No, wait. I got him to agree to release all his staff.
Then what's he got left as collateral?
Me. He wants a private plane. One-way trip to Transylvania. I'll follow him the whole way there and we'll have a car waiting for him, see? You need to have a gun for me in the glove box. Make a false top and hide it in there. We'll make the arrest once we land. It'll be when his guard is down the most. Now I know it's gonna be costly, but this is gonna be the safest route. We can't lose, Chief. I'll make the arrest. You gotta trust me.
What? I'd sooner find my foot on the map. This is just what we need. An international incident. I still think we should go in guns blazing.
Those are innocent people, Chief. They're scared. They want to go home to their families.
Let me call my superiors and see what I can do. Go back and tell them we're working on it.
I held my hanky up high and entered the bank. Ed had a look of worry on his face. It's all set, kid. You're gonna release the hostages and you and me are gonna take a trip to Transylvania. You need to follow my lead and listen to every word I have to say for this to work.
Whatever you say, Canary. At this point, I've got nothing else to lose.
5 minutes later, the phone rang. I knew I had him on the hook.
This is the chief. Who am I speaking to?
Canary.
We're gonna do it. We're getting everything set up. A black car will be arriving soon to pick you both up. He's gonna have to release the hostages now, or the deal's off.
I held the receiver to my hand to mute it and I nodded. The hostages, go now.
Go. You'll be home in time for supper. I'm sorry for ruining your days. Thank you.
Okay, Chief, they're coming out now. Don't pump them full of lead.
Got it.
One by one, they walked out. I was about as relieved as them to see them go. When's the car coming to pick us up? Pull up right on the sidewalk. Get as close to the front door as you can. I don't need this guy any more nervous than he is.
You got 5 minutes.
Chief, there's one more thing. The car came in, did just as I said. The deputy stood down as we drove a police-escorted path to the airport. They're listening to me. Good. Very good. Keep the gun on me, kid. We're almost home free. Just relax and don't make any sudden movements.
Don't worry about that. I'm too scared to move.
They drove us right into the tarmac. They had a dual-prop plane already running, waiting for us.
Plane's ready to board now. You may enter. Just take it real easy, and you'll be in Watsylvania in no time.
We walked up to the steep metallic stairs leading into the plane. There was 2 pilots fiddling with their switches and gauges as they prepared for takeoff.
One-way trip to Transylvania, I understand?
Yes, sir. I need to talk to the pilot for one moment, Ed.
Make it snappy. Don't make any sudden movements.
How long are we looking at here, gentlemen?
With this tailwind, we'll make it in 14 hours, so buckle in.
Psst. He pulled up the cuff of his pant. Tucked into his sock was a .22.
Take it. What's in this here?
Not safe. We do it my way. I shot the kid an OK sign and we sat in aisle seats opposite of each other.
Everyone buckle in. Next stop, Transylvania.
So we're actually gonna pull this off, huh?
Nothing to it, kid. Keep that pea shooter pointed at me. They had coffee and shortbread cookies waiting for us in the galley. It was gonna be a long, sleepless night.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, I don't know. You seem like a good kid. This is the kind of thing that'll follow you around forever. Shh, keep it down, keep it down. One mistake shouldn't define you for the rest of your life. I've locked up so many people in my time. Some really decent people who did one boneheaded thing. Rehabilitation, my ear. They come out of the pen like animals. I don't want to see that happen to you. Innocence is hard to come by. I don't want you to lose yours. He gave me a nod and a weak smile and looked forward. We hit a patch of turbulence that made us feel like a baby's toy being thrown across the room in a tantrum. The weather evened out and the rest of the trip was uneventful.
We've officially arrived in Transylvania. We'll be approaching the runway in 5 minutes. Prepare to disembark.
We're almost home free, kid. Remember, as I said, follow my lead and keep that damn gun drawn on me. Tires met runway in a screech of burning rubber in relief. The landing is always the worst part. Ready to go, kid?
I'm a little surprised I'm still alive. I'm ready.
This is it. Stay close. We slowly walked over the runway, keeping our steps in sync. He protested, but I urged him to keep the gun buried in my back. The car was running and pointed to the exit. Some adventure, eh, kid?
And how?
You're gonna have to hit me now. Really let me have it right in the chops.
What? I can't hit you. You've helped me so much.
Listen, kid. Those aren't just pilots, they're armed agents. Now we don't have any more time. You have to do it. There's a gun hidden in the glove box. Find it and throw it out the window along with your unloaded one. And put the pedal to the metal, and I mean floor it. They're not gonna chase you and ruin diplomatic relations.
I can't. I can't hit you.
Now listen to me, son. This is your father speaking. I think through sports you'll meet new people and learn the discipline that you desperately need. You've been a disappointment to me up until now, but I think we'll make a man out of you yet. I momentarily saw stars. I knew he had it in him. There's $1,000 worth of Romanian lou in the back seat. They'll give you a fresh start for your coffee house.
Thanks for everything.
Now go! He did just what I said. I was sitting up on a tarmac when I felt bullets whiz by my head, but he was already gone. We did it, kid. We did it. Now make it count. Not many get a do-over.
Voice acted by, in order of appearance, J. Henry as Canary P.I. Frank Gulglielmelli as Chief of Police. Julienne Guilas as Ed Poindexter. Written, directed, and edited by J. Henry. Music by Pedro Esparza, Kevin MacLeod, and Vivek Abhishek. Further info in the description. For information on collaborating, contributions, or just want to keep up on the current scoop, visit us at twitter.com/RPCanaryPI.
Canary, do you have any idea what this is going to cost the department? How could you let that little pipsqueak take you down?
What can I say, Chief? 1 in a million shot. 1 in a million.
This concludes the broadcast.